Hello, everybody. Welcome to Lili and Friends. Today, my guest is one of my friends. We work together in a company that deals with cables and stuff for phones and iPads and shit like that. Um, we basically know each other for like 2, 3 years, something like that. And it's funny because I did the interview to Lauren when she started at the company that we were working for. And I kind of gave her a hard time, apparently. We're going to listen to it in a little bit. So, yeah, welcome, Lauren Kay. How are you doing today?
I'm good. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, of course. Um, so Lauren, you don't have kids, and this podcast is like we talk about kids and stuff like that. But I'm gonna talk about the interview that we did, and I kind of gave you a hard time just to start with.
Yeah, you did. You did. You threw me for a loop.
I can tell you that I was kind of a B, a big B. Like I was, yeah.
I mean, you
It's
were the only one that had any questions. Everyone else was just kind of looking at their phones and not really paying attention.
That's true. That's really true. And
Yeah.
when our boss at the time said, "Oh, we're gonna have an interview," I looked at your CV and I was like, let's see. Okay, and I started like writing down all the questions on a paper and stuff, and I was like, I wonder if everybody is doing this because, like, if this is the way they're gonna do it, the interview it's gonna take a while.
Yeah. I think you're the only one that did that. I don't think anyone else was interested or bothered.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Which is hard because the questions they were asking were a little bit kind of just normal questions. Nothing
Yeah.
really
Very generic.
right. Nothing really deep about what how would you do in this situation and that situation. Which is very important for the job we we're doing, anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a very fast paced job. So those questions were good, but I was not expecting them at all. And I had shit answers. I mean,
No,
it worked out in the end, but I was just stumbling through them.
yeah, I remember that because after the interview, I was like, I don't know.
You're
She
like,
didn't
don't do it. Don't hire her.
No, because I was like, she didn't have any questions for us,
I know. Yeah.
And then they told me they're like, yeah, you were kind of a B. So yeah, I think she didn't do it because of you. And I was like, really? I was that bad? And then we had a mutual friend that I did not know, and then later I learned that we had that mutual friend that she's already been in this podcast, and I was like,
Mhm.
oh god damn it. So okay. So I asked our mutual
Yeah.
friend, I was like, how is she? Is she okay?
Oh, I fully thought I bombed it, but that mutual friend was also kind of my foot in the door to get the interview in the first place.
Yeah, exactly. Because she knew the boss as well. So
Yep. Yeah.
yeah.
Small world.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But it was so funny because they were like, yeah, no, I think we're gonna hire her. I was like, oh shit. I'm gonna
Like, you
have to
guys are making a
apologize.
huge mistake.
Yeah, I was like, I'm gonna have to apologize if we do that. Anyways, we're not here to talk about jobs, but it was just funny that that's how pretty much we started.
That's how it all started. Yeah.
Yeah, and then when you joined the team, it was great because we got to work together and we became friends and we hung out a couple of times, and
Yeah.
you're a great person, so
Yeah. And the rest is history, as they say.
exactly. But
And now we're here.
yeah, so anyway, so I was I started this podcast. You don't have kids, and
Correct.
you basically just chose not to have kids, right? And so how is it for you to see pretty much all of your friends have now kids or babies or toddlers and stuff?
It's actually really awesome. Like, a huge misconception by not wanting kids is people assuming that I don't like kids and that I hate kids, and that's not the case at all. I absolutely love children. It's just not something that I'm interested in full time.
Right.
So I love that so many of my friends, I mean, pretty much all of them at this point, really have at least one child, and I love them. I love spending time with them, hanging out with them. I love being the quote unquote fun aunt.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
No, I think I get your point because you actually get the fun part of it, right? Like you get to hang out with them, you get
Yeah,
to play with them, but then at the end of the day, you're like, bye.
exactly. You get to give them back. You get to get them hopped up on sugar, spin them around in circles, and then give them back. Exactly. I get to experience all the fun stuff and then go, here you go. We're good.
Right. And then you
Now
get
take them
to,
for a weekend, send them home.
yeah, and then you get to hear all the moms like complaining about, oh, I don't sleep and I don't, have time to take a shit and
Yeah,
this.
exactly. Exactly. I mean, there are definitely some selfish aspects to it like that. Like my husband and I enjoy staying up late. We very much enjoy sleeping in on the weekends and just kind of having time to ourselves and devote to each other and to ourselves basically.
Oh man, that sounds
Yeah,
like a
it's a
dream.
big plus. Yeah, and I mean, having a kid changes all of that, you know?
Yes. Oh, I do know. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're acutely aware of that one for
Oh
sure.
God, I was just like you. Like I like to sleep in the weekends and party sometimes, go to bars or not even bars, but like go to festivals with some
Yeah.
trance music. I don't know, stay up late and stuff like that. But now like I can't.
Yeah,
I
and it's being able to just up and go, you know? We don't really need to rely on anyone to do anything for us, really. You know, we
Yeah,
want to go somewhere, we go.
right, right. You don't have to be like, okay, I need a babysitter or I
Exactly. I
need
got to
to.
pack, a diaper bag or what have you. And like, these are not negative things, you know? They're not things that necessarily like turn me off to having kids. I just truly don't feel the need or like the desire to have them.
Yeah. No, I totally understand, and that's the thing. Like some people, like you said, some people do think that you don't like them or you don't have the
Yeah,
patience for them, but that's not it. It's just like you don't want to depend on a little person to do your own stuff. Like if you want to go, let's say in the morning you want to get up late and then in the afternoon you want to go for a hike, you can. You don't have
exactly. We
to.
just go.
Yeah, you don't need to like wait for them to have a nap and then give them a snack and then they don't want to walk because they're tired and you have to pick them up.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
but you do like, I've seen you interact with my child and it's absolutely amazing. Like you just.
Oh yeah, I adore him. Absolutely adore him. And I love watching him because, my quote unquote children are three cats, which is too many, but what are you going to do? But, it's great seeing him run around and try to play with them. And the two of the three are all about it. They want to be pet, they want to be played with. And it's awesome to have him over here interacting with them.
Yeah, exactly. He loves cats. Oh my God.
Oh, it's so sweet.
Yeah, I don't really like cats. Like I'm okay being
Yeah.
around them, but you've seen me. Like I'm kind of
Yeah.
scared.
Yeah. You're like, I could do without.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Like I love
Yeah.
dogs. I have a dog.
Yeah.
I work with dogs. I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah.
But like cats, I'm like,
Yeah, and one of them is very much a typical cat of like, if you're not like quote unquote mom or dad, I don't want anything to do with you. But the two
mm,
younger ones, no sense of personal space. They walk across you. They just headbutts, pet me, play with me, give me attention to anyone that's in the room.
yeah.
So they're perfect for your little one.
Oh yeah, for sure. And he loves them. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't get to interact like too much with you right now because of this crazy pandemic.
Yeah.
And I want to talk a little bit about it because you've been isolated from the world ever
Hmm.
since it's started, right? So I
Yeah,
haven't
we've
seen
taken it
you.
very, very seriously.
Yeah, so I haven't seen you in forever.
Yeah, pretty much since like March.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We
Yeah.
haven't really seen anyone, really.
Yeah. Because you're doing some stuff for your grandma, correct?
Yeah, so we're sticking very closely to the grocery shopping every 2 weeks, basically everything they suggested when this all started happening. And we grocery shop for my grandmother, who's 83, so very much at risk in that term alone. So I don't see anybody. No one comes into the apartment. We don't go anywhere. We don't see anybody. The only exception we make is I've been baking my ass off, and I'm like, I have too much stuff. So people will drive by and I will literally throw it in their car window. That's really the only time I see people. And even that is like every few weeks.
Yeah. And
Yeah, we've taken it very seriously.
Yeah, and because you're taking care of your grandma like that, you need to be very careful and aware of what's going on for sure.
Oh yeah, that's my biggest concern, 100%.
Yeah. So like for me, for example, like I kind of made a decision to start working again pretty much this month. I mean, last month. And
Hmm.
I've been very, very cautious. So like I sanitize my hands before I put the mask on. I
Yeah.
put the mask on, I go inside, and sometimes I bring the dogs out so we can actually do something outside.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's not possible because they're puppies and they don't have vaccines or stuff like that. But
Yeah.
after I'm done with my sessions, I sanitize again before I enter my car. Then I take my mask off. And then once I get home, I wash my hands thoroughly and sanitize again. So I've been very, very cautious, although I'm kind
Yeah.
of putting myself out there.
Yeah. It
Um,
is kind of crazy, like the steps that we see ourselves taking that, like, I never thought that I would be this kind of person. Like, I literally don't step outside of my home without a bottle of spray sanitizer, either in a pocket or in my purse.
yeah.
I never thought I'd be that kind of person. Like, I'm bonkers about it.
Yeah. And I think, a lot of people, like I see some people that are taking this very, very seriously, like you doing, and I totally get it. And I'm not here to criticize anybody, but
Mhm.
I've seen a lot of people also being like, I could care less. This is a
I know.
conspiracy from the government. Like,
Yeah. I don't
dude,
know how this turned into a political stance. I really don't.
yeah, it's just people that they create this stuff in their own heads.
Yeah.
They just think that it's a conspiracy, and it's like government wants us to stay home and to control us and stuff. And I mean, it could be that, but the virus is real, guys.
Yeah. 100%. Like, I don't know what more evidence you need than what's happening literally before our eyes.
Exactly. Like a lot of deaf people, and oh man,
Yeah.
it's just so sad though. But I mean, for you, for example, it's a bit easier to just stay home and kind of isolate yourself from others because, like I said, you don't have kids, you have the cats. So, and cats don't have
Yeah.
to go outside, you know.
Yeah. No, it's like my husband and I have talked about it frequently, really. Like, we'll have a friend that's like, I'm losing my mind over this right now. And we just look at each other and we're like, we got to count our blessings right now because it's just the two of us. Like, it's just every day, like, hey, are you sick of me yet? No, we're good. Okay. I mean, that's really all we have to worry about. We don't have any kids that we need to suddenly homeschool or keep entertained, try and keep clean. Like, we definitely count ourselves lucky in these crazy, crazy times.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. And the same for us too. Like, we have a kid, but like, my husband is home
Yeah.
and is working from home, and sometimes like I'm so frustrated with the kid that I can't even look at my husband. I'm like, I just cannot, like, it happened actually at dinner time. So my son was throwing a fit because he didn't want to go in his chair. And I'm like, no, you have to go eat and you have to go in your chair. And then my husband was like, oh, just put him in my lap. And I was like, no. And then he just did it. So he put him in his lap. And I was like, you know what? Then you deal with him. I
Yeah.
can't. I'm done. Like, I need to eat in peace. I can't eat in peace any meal, any kind of
Yeah.
meal. And you just enabling him to be on your lap and eat his food. That's not
Yeah.
okay. I'm not okay with that. And
Yeah. It's a slippery slope. Like, you start making those exceptions and then it just kind of escalates, or I guess goes downhill from there.
yeah. And then, being at home, I mean, I'm not home all day, but, being home most of the time and seeing the same faces kind of gets into your nerves sometimes. And
Oh,
it's,
yeah.
it's important to ask one another, like, hey, are you okay with me? Are you getting
Oh,
sick
yeah.
and tired of me
Very
already?
important. Yeah. Absolutely. And that's what we do every few days. I'm like, are you sick of me yet? Do you need me to work in the other room? Because right now we're both kind of posted up in our living room, dining room area. So really only separated by like a couch right now. So full view of each other, can hear what the other person's doing. But every few days I'm like, are you sick of me? Do you need me to work in the, our spare room? We've got a desk in here. and just trying to check in with each other. Because, I mean, again, it's only the two of us, so we are lucky in that sense with everything that's going on. But yeah, we check in on each other several times a week to be like, do you hate me yet? Are we still good? And it's super important. Super important.
Yeah, it is, because I mean, along with the virus, your sanity is the most thing that you need to keep alive and keep, you know, just being happy and keep it
Yeah.
sane, you know.
Yeah, and it's tough because
Yeah.
I mean, because we are quarantining so intensely, we don't leave. Like we leave our apartment once every 2 weeks. So we are 24/7 around each other. Like there's really no escape. And that's why I'm like, hey, do you need me to work in the other room? How you feeling right now? And there have been a few times where we get frustrated over dumb shit, but it's just because we have no release. There's no escape from each other. When before this, we were away from each other half a day, every day, 5 days a week.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna go watch a movie in the other room and I'll be cool after that. But I need you to leave me alone. And
Right.
I'm very fortunate in the fact that he understands that, and he's never taken it personally.
Oh, that's really good. But you
Yeah, I'm
know,
very fortunate with that.
yeah, but you guys have a good relationship between you two, you know. I've seen you guys interact with each other, and it's kind of like me and my husband. We kind of joke around, we say some shit here and there, and then we're all good.
Yeah, yeah. No, we're very sarcastic, constantly just busting each other's balls. But when it comes to it, it's like, all right, take your time. I know it's not because of me. Go take a breather.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
so far so good for us.
No, that's really nice. That's really
Yeah.
have you, so I assume you're not even interacting with your sisters, right?
No, so they're starting to go to my parents' house more and more, which I'm not because my mother is not able to quarantine because she works at a bank. So they
Mm,
legally can't shut down. They have to stay open. So I'm like, nope, I'm keeping my distance, not going over there. So I've seen my parents and my sisters twice since all of this happened. On Mother's Day, we just parked our cars in front of my mom's house and she opened gifts. And then for Father's Day, I walked in a side gate and sat in the backyard for like an hour by myself, well, with my husband, but we just sat in the backyard by ourselves and then left. And that's the only time I've seen my siblings and my parents.
oh
I mean,
God.
there are text messages and phone calls and all that stuff, but like physically seeing them in person twice in the last 4 months, which has been really hard. And same with my
Man,
husband's family. Like we're not seeing them either.
I'm about to cry.
It's hard. It's really hard.
No,
Because
I
like
know.
it's my husband's mother isn't able to quarantine either because she works at a grocery store. So she's an essential worker. So
Yeah.
it's just we can't take that risk.
No.
Yeah.
No.
It's been really difficult.
Wow. Man, I'm sorry. I
I
mean,
mean, we're doing what we gotta do and it fucking sucks, but it's what we feel is necessary for our situation.
right,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah.
So we're just putting ourselves first as much of a bummer as it is.
Yeah. I no, I totally get it, because like like, you know, my family's not here in America. My family is back in my country, which is Portugal.
Right.
And I we were scheduled to go back home in May for my son and my husband's anniversaries, so birthdays, right?
Yeah.
And I had this huge party planned already for the whole family to go and just enjoy some time with us and the kid. And then
The kid.
and then when this pandemic hit, we're like, oh God, we're not gonna be able to go. And so I haven't seen my family since, well, luckily I went in October last year, just me and my son.
Hmm.
So I don't know if I was already predicting something was gonna
Right.
happen.
Right. Something in the
Because
bones. You're like, we got to get over there.
yeah, so I was feeling homesick. My dad had high surgery, and I was like, no, I had to go check on him.
Yeah.
And I went last year in October, and then I was like, yeah, I'm okay. And then we had planned to go in May, and then we're not going to be able to go probably until next year. And so
Yeah.
my whole family, my sister, my husband's family, everybody's there. So we don't have anybody. So I totally
Yeah.
understand what you feel, because it's kind of the same thing. Like,
Yeah.
you know.
It's just not possible right now. Yeah, we had a huge family trip planned up to Oregon where my brother lives. Him, his wife, and their two kids. So kind of bringing it full circle back to like children. I was gonna get to see my little niece and nephew. They're 4 and 6 years old, so they're pretty small.
Mm-hmm.
And we were supposed to go at the end of March, so we missed it by like a week. A week before that is when things started shutting down. We were like, maybe it's not the best to go right now, but we'll go soon. We'll go soon. Obviously, still hasn't happened, and at this point, I haven't seen my brother in like 2.5 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and it's kind of the same boat that you're in. It's most likely not going to happen until next year.
Yeah. Yeah. And the thing, like, it's hard to have family away, and it's already hard when things are normal, like because they
Yeah,
live there and you here, and then you have a job and you can't really go because job
there's
and
always something. There's always
something.
something.
Yes. And then, but this is like an impossibility that was like imposed into your life.
Yes. Yeah.
It's nothing that you can you know modify and kind of like, okay, but if I squeeze here and there I can still
Yeah.
go.
100%. It's
Nothing,
just
like
it's a
this is
wall.
just exactly, this
Dead
is it.
stop. Yep.
Boom. Like,
Yeah.
oh god,
Absolutely. Absolutely.
it's crazy, man. It's just
Yeah. It's rough. It's really rough.
yeah. I think, I was talking to my husband last night and I was like, you know what? I rather think about this virus like it's going to be here forever. And we just kind of have to, you know, live our lives the best we can to avoid catching it,
Right.
right? But also, we can't stop living because this is what I think. Because if we stop living, then we might generate a disease that you basically are afraid to leave your own house.
Yeah. It's a fine line. It's a very fine line of like, how far do I take it or how far do I pull back?
Yes. And now that the numbers are rising back again, unfortunately,
Yeah.
I heard that they're gonna start shutting down stuff again, right? And so,
Yeah.
it,
California is going into effect immediately. Um, Basically, anything that is going on indoors. So they've shut down restaurants and gyms, theaters, all that good stuff has officially shut down again.
yeah, I mean, I don't blame the government for doing that because I think that's good. I don't really go indoors anywhere. Like the only thing I go indoors was stores, and I only been to one store in this whole time,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah.
Because what I do is I order like from Instacart, and I just have my groceries dropped off,
Yeah.
basically. But like indoor stuff, I don't do anything.
Yeah.
Like, but we go to parks, like outdoor parks with the
Yeah.
kid, and you know but I mean, if they shut that down again, I don't know what to do. I had a really hard time in the beginning, especially the third week. I got into almost a depression, like it was that bad because
Oh,
I'm
I wouldn't blame you. That's such an upheaval of your entire life.
yeah. And you know me, like I'm a very social person. I like to be around people. I'm
Yeah.
a very huggy and kissy person. So for
Yeah.
me it's really hard to not be around my friends, especially,
Yeah.
and like I just realized that we haven't seen each other since March, and like
I know.
I
It's been
really
four
miss.
months. I
Yeah.
know. I
Yeah.
know. I miss you and I mean your entire family. I miss all of you guys.
Yeah, it's
And
crazy,
like,
man.
our mutual friend has a very young baby. He's 7 to 8 months old.
Yeah.
And she, I was talking to her about how this is affecting him. And she's like, before he just got passed around like a hot potato. Whoever wanted to hold him got to hold them. Everything's great, super social. And she's like, it's not like that anymore. He doesn't want anyone but me to hold him. And like all of the friends and family are missing out on like the big milestones. And it's I mean, genuinely, it is just it's such a bummer
Yeah, it
because
is. Yeah.
I was there for her older kid. Got to see all those milestones with her, and it's happening all over again, and everyone's missing everything because we're all just stuck inside.
Yeah, exactly. And that's very, it's very sad that, we have to do that. But like even my son, like I just started putting him to school again last week, and
Hmm.
he's having a hard time. Like I drop him off, he cries like hell.
Yeah, he's got to be like has gotten so used to being with you all the time again, I bet.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Even strangers, like he sees people on the street, and
Hmm.
if people are coming on the same direction as us on the sidewalk,
Hmm.
he calls me and he says, "Mama, like,
Oh my gosh.
yeah,
That's so
like,
bonkers because he was open to everyone before this happened.
yes." But now, like, he
Everyone.
even warns me that people are gonna pass by, so I can go to
Oh
the
my
side
gosh.
and not,
That's
because,
crazy.
yeah, I mean, I didn't talk about the virus to him because he's 2 years
Right.
old. There's no point.
Right.
But I do explain to him, like, oh, we can go there, because there's something going on the
Right.
air, and like he doesn't understand, but he kind of does. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Like
Because kids
something's
aren't
different.
stupid. Yeah, kids
Right.
aren't stupid, and they
Oh
see
yeah,
people
they
with,
can pick up on those social cues and
yeah, and
it's
he
different than it
sees,
used to be.
right. He sees people with masks. He sees me with a mask. He sees
Right.
dad with a mask.
Yeah, and he's
You
like,
know,
that's new.
yeah, and he wants a mask too. So
Mom, dad have it. I need it too. Doesn't
yeah,
matter what it is. I need it.
yeah. We just actually ordered one, like a little one for him. So I mean, better safe than sorry.
Oh yeah, it doesn't hurt. 100%. I'm
Yeah,
all about it.
yeah. So, we asked for one. I was like, we're gonna get you one. And
Yeah.
so he sees people, even here in our community, like we go for walks pretty much every day. I have
Yeah.
to take the dog out anyway, so we just do it.
Yeah.
And if he sees someone passing in our sidewalk, he
Hmm.
calls me. Like if I'm not
Oh
looking,
my
or
gosh.
yeah, he calls me like, oh, go on the side, there's someone
Yeah.
coming. I was like, oh
Wow.
damn. And people, like, they start like, oh my god, he's so well trained. I'm like, no, he's not being trained, he's just picking up on stuff that is
Yeah.
going on around us,
Yeah, he sees what's happening and what everyone else is doing and figured this is what we do.
exactly.
Yeah, and he's
So
smart. He's very smart.
yeah, but it's sad, because I'm scared that when this is all done, that he's gonna be weird towards people, you know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, like antisocial. You don't know how to interact with them anymore because it's been so long.
Exactly. That's
Yeah.
why I put him back at school, and like, no, you have to play with other kids. You
Yeah.
have to play with other adults that aren't mommy and daddy. And she has it's a home daycare. She has a very small school.
Yeah.
I mean, home daycare. And there's only 8 kids there, and she's not even full yet. So
Yeah.
she only has probably 4 now.
Yeah. I mean,
And
it's all valid concerns.
yeah,
100%. And we're in
so
uncharted territory. We've never had to deal with something like this before.
exactly, exactly. It's really hard. But yeah, so you did mention that you were there for our mutual friend for the milestones for the older kid that she has.
Yeah.
Because we didn't met at that time, so you're friends with her more than I am right now, right? Like more time, anyways. So
Yeah.
yeah, so
Yeah.
how was that for you? How was the experience for you to get to be with, a little baby, and then see all the changes, and even with my son.
Yeah. It's awesome. And I was much younger at the time. I was maybe 19, 20 years old when her older one came around. So I was still pretty young.
Oh wow.
So I was still very much like the younger friend, like seeing all of this happen for the first time and like, holy shit, it's so cool, but like still not in the realm of possibility, all things considered.
Yeah.
So I was like the kid sister, if you will,
Mm-hmm.
the youngin of the group. But it was awesome. It was cool to see her when she started breaking her teeth, minus the slobbering. And that's another thing is like, I don't have to deal with like slobber. I don't got to deal with boogers. And I'm like, thank God. Thank
Yes.
God.
With poop out of their diapers and
Oh
going to their
gosh.
bags.
Yeah, count my blessings on that one for sure. Cause I saw all of those happen. And I'm like, here's your kid. I'm going to be in the other room. Have fun with that. But I mean, honestly, it's so cool to see all of this happen. And I mean, up until this craziness happened, seeing it all happen again. We still have, the video chats. And luckily we had the technology on video calls, we've got Snapchat videos. So at least there's still some sort of connection. We're not entirely cut off. But even still,
It's
getting
not
a
the
video
same.
of him, starting to babble is not the same as being able to go over there and be like, holy shit, can you say my name?
Yeah.
A decent placeholder, I guess. All things considered, I'd rather have it than nothing. But it's a very different experience than what I had with her older one.
Right, right, right. Because with your older one, you were more closer. Maybe you guys saw
Oh,
each other more, and yeah.
yeah. I mean, we were seeing each other very, very frequently. And there were times when our friend would, because she's got a lot of friends out of state, so she would go and visit them, and her older kid would stay with us.
Oh,
And
okay.
she and I would share a bed, and my parents had a dog at the time because I was still living at home, so it'd be like me, the kid, and the dog just squished into a bed for a week at a time, and it was awesome.
Oh, that's so cute. I
Yeah, it
did
was
not know that.
great. Yeah, I Kat and I met when her kid was, I want to say, a little, or kind of closing in on like a year, so she was very young,
Yeah.
very, very young. And I've been around ever since.
Right.
And ideally it'd be the same with her newborn, but
Yeah. It,
circumstances got in the way, to say the
I know.
least.
Yeah. It's hard because I think we were doing the same thing with her in the beginning when he was born. Well, when he was born, I was in Portugal actually.
Right.
And then when I came back, we started hanging out pretty much every day or so because, I didn't have a job and, my
Yeah.
son likes her and we were just hanging out pretty much every day. And so I saw all the changes again, even though my son is still a little boy, but like I saw that happening again. So I
Yeah.
was like, oh, so cute. And then when this lockdown happened, I barely see her, you know.
Right.
And so I'm like, I'm missing out on stuff. Like now he can kind of, he can crawl. He
Yeah, he's kind
can,
of shimmying, and if she
yeah,
holds on to like under his armpits, he's moving his feet like he wants to walk. And
yes,
it's is just like truly such a bummer to have to watch it like through a tiny little screen on my phone.
yeah,
Yeah, it's a little disheartening.
yeah, it is, it is. And especially because you're so close to her as a friend and you've been there
Right.
since the first one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
it's
and I was excited for it to be like, all right, like a fight, like round two, ding, let's do this. And then everything went to shit.
exactly. And so I know that you've been in the room when she was giving birth. Was it with her first one or the second one? I don't remember.
So I was there with her youngest one now,
Okay.
and we were set in a position where I could see her soul. I saw everything. I was like, I didn't ask for this. I wanted to be above your shoulders, and I am now on a couch facing you. So there was no missing anything that happened.
Oh wow.
I saw it all. Yeah, saw it all. And then my older sister was there as well, and she was kind of off to the side because her older daughter was there, but they were like, we don't want her to see anything, but we want her to be in the room. So my
Hmm.
older sister had her, her older kid off to the side a little, and my sister was able to cut the cord, which was pretty neat.
Oh, that's so
Yeah,
cute.
so that was pretty special.
Yeah. Because the dad wasn't there, right?
Right. So he stopped by, but he also has a child who was in daycare at the time, and he had to go pick him up, and she gave birth within 10 minutes of him leaving.
Oh my God.
Yep. It happened real quick. Like he was still en route to go pick up his kid when it happened.
Oh, poor
Yeah,
thing,
so he
man.
just missed it. But my sister was there, and she was able to cut the cord, and yeah,
Oh,
happy
that's
healthy
really
baby.
cute.
Yeah.
Yeah. But how did you feel like looking at that scenario like
Oh, so off-putting. So off-putting. Like there are times when my husband and I will see something or we will hear something and we will look at each other and we were like, if we ever wanted kids, we don't now. that was one of those times. It was like,
Exactly.
there are just some things that happen when you were like, that was birth control in and of itself. I'm good. I'm good. That was definitely one of them.
There's
It
condoms. Please
was
wear one.
graphic. It was graphic. And that's
Oh,
putting it lightly. There's a
yeah.
lot going
Dude, I can only imagine because I've
on.
experienced birth and I can only imagine what's going on out there, you know? I mean,
Oh
down
yeah, I
there.
had a bird's eye view, let me tell you. Yeah, it was a lot. It was a lot, but I'm glad that I was there. And we weren't sure whether or not I was going to be able to because my husband and I had our honeymoon planned. And if she hadn't delivered early, we would have been gone. We would have been out of the country in Japan.
That's right, because I
Yeah.
remember, yeah.
Yeah, we left about a week and a half after he was born. And if
Wow.
she had stayed until, like, if she had stayed pregnant until her due date, we would have missed it.
Right.
So despite the graphic nature of it, I count my blessings that I was able to be here and experience that.
Yeah. No, for sure. And for a person that, for like you that decided not to have kids, it's not for me. I think you being there says a lot about you. You're a really true friend and you are there for your friends no matter what, even though it's a graphic thing, even though it's like,
Oh, mama.
ugh.
Yeah, it was like worse than those movies that you watch in like 6th, 7th grade.
Mm,
It was a lot.
yeah.
But I'm glad that I was there, you know?
So if you were any time in your life wanted to become a nurse, like a what is it called, the girl that delivers babies, the midwife.
Yeah.
If for ever any doubt in your life to be like, I want to be a midwife one day, that time you were like, nope, nope,
You're like, no, I've
nope.
made all the right choices up until now. All Yeah. 100%. I was like, I don't need to be in hospitals at all. I'm good.
Oh my God, you're so funny. Oh no, I can only imagine, man. Jesus, seeing that, no, no.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But then
Yeah.
again, like you see like the baby coming out, and then everybody is happy, and baby's crying, and then you
Oh, it's
get to,
awesome. I
yeah,
mean, it is beautiful. It is absolutely a beautiful experience. It's just getting there that's a little rough to witness. Like there was all of that happening. There was pushing. There was crowning. There was Black Panther playing in the background. Like it was a lot. There was a lot going on.
why Black Panther?
We were just flipping through movies and the older one wanted to watch that Marvel movie Black Panther, so we were at like that climactic, final battle at the end, and then boom, baby.
Really?
I still tease her about it. Still tease her about it. Yeah. I was like, could you really? Of all things.
Oh my God. I haven't
Yep.
seen the movie, but it's a Marvel movie, so I know
Yeah.
there's like bam, bam,
Yeah,
like with it.
explosions, fighting, good versus evil. Yeah. Yep. Tale as old as time. Push that baby out to that.
Oh my God. That's
Yep.
hilarious.
Yeah. It was pretty funny.
I think she mentioned that actually. Now that you're talking about it, I think she did mention to me that it was Black
Yep. I
Panther.
still tease her about it. Like if it, like it'll pop, like the title will pop up on like HBO or whatever, and I'll send her a picture and I'm like, hey, remember when you gave birth to this? She'll never live it down.
The kid will be 18,
It just
21, 52, and
Yeah.
we're like, remember?
Yeah. I'm like, you'll never live this down. We're gonna talk about it at your wedding.
Yeah,
Ugh,
please,
so funny.
please. Let's make
Most
a
ridiculous thing.
let's make a video out of it and just present it to
Oh
the
my
whole to the
god.
whole wedding crew and be like,
The
guys,
most ridiculous thing.
she gave birth to this.
To
Ta-da!
this. To this.
Oh my God,
Yeah.
we love teasing her. She's the best.
She's a good
And
sport
yes,
though.
yeah, she is. It's so funny though. She's good. We can
Yeah.
tease her. We can talk about shit. We can. Same
Oh
with
yeah,
you.
she can take it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I feel the same
She and I
thing
are
with
both
you.
just like big dark clouds. That's the thing.
Yeah, but the thing is, I think it's the same with you. Like I can tease you, I can tell you this and that, and then we're like, we're cool.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, I incredibly sarcastic. extremely sarcastic person.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. I'm not. I'm mostly like, I don't know. I don't know what I am. I mean, I don't care. But like I just tell you how it is. And then
Yeah, you're very straightforward.
yeah, and then if I have to tease you, like you'll see, like you can tell that I'm actually
Oh yeah.
playing,
Oh
that
yeah.
I'm actually joking around.
Oh
Um
yeah.
and no, it's pretty like that. But yeah, you guys are like, sometimes I wonder like, do you have feelings? But everybody
We
does, so
question it ourselves.
exactly.
No, it's all
um
sarcasm. That's the thing. I don't take anything seriously.
yeah, I don't take anything personal either, but I mean, if you really get into my nerves, then yeah, obviously, but that's with everybody, right? So it is
You
what it
can
is.
cross
Yeah,
for sure.
exactly. Yeah. Anyways, no, but it's pretty nice that you've been there for the birth, and you know seeing all that craziness
Yeah.
going around, and oh my god, and your sisters too, they were just there with you. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's the thing is like I love kids. I absolutely adore them. I just don't have the desire to have them for myself. Like
Yeah,
that's probably the biggest misconception is that like because I don't want kids, I must hate them. But I don't. I fucking love kids.
yeah. No, and again, I've seen you interact with them and with my son even, and we're
Yeah.
not blood related in any way, and he likes you, and when I tell him your name, he's like, yeah, I remember her, I know
Yeah.
her.
Oh, I adore him.
Yeah.
He's the sweetest thing.
Thanks. He's pretty cool. I mean,
Yeah.
he
He's
has
like
his
the
days.
most chill kid like I've genuinely ever met. He's like a tiny little old man. He's so chill.
Yeah, he's becoming a little terror ultimately, actually. You haven't seen him since March, so
That's true. That's true.
yeah, the twos hit and he's like having
Oh
a big time.
no.
I mean, he's not a spoiled brat, nothing like that.
Yeah.
Has his personality, man. Like I see
Finally
myself.
shining through.
Yes, I see myself in him quite a
Plus, you're
lot.
getting it back tenfold. That's what they say. You have a kid, and you're going to learn everything your parents went through.
Oh yeah, exactly. And not only that, but you learn a lot about yourself too, because they're
Oh, I don't
they
doubt that
have,
at all.
yeah, because they have their personality, but it comes from you, right? Because they
Yeah.
see everything you do, they hear everything you say, they copy everything you do and say.
Oh,
And
yeah.
sometimes, like, when I'm pissed, I curse, especially in Portuguese,
Hmm.
and man, he repeats right away, and he's
Oh, I
like,
bet.
mama, and then he says the word, and I'm like, oh, what do
Like,
I
God
tell him
damn
now?
it. Yeah.
Because if I tell him no, don't say that, then he's going to repeat it, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah, they're just tiny little sponges, you know?
yeah,
Like they've got their own personalities. They're very much their own person, but you're still helping shape and mold and guide this tiny little being.
yeah, exactly. And so not only that, but like, like I don't know what to say at those times, because
Yeah.
like, what do I do? What do I say? And then
Yeah.
what I what I tell him is like, oh, okay, whatever, or just like, oh,
Let's
let's
just
go
pretend we
eat.
didn't say that.
Yeah, exactly. The
Yeah.
other the other day he came, and so my husband said something in Portuguese, a bad word in Portuguese, and I told him. He came to me and he's like, "Mama, mama, Dada said," and then he repeated, and I go, and it was perfect, Lauren. It was
Of course it was.
perfect.
Of
Like he
course it was. Why
he
wouldn't it be?
yeah, he bubble words a lot. Like he bubbles so much.
But
Like
not that.
not that
Crystal
once.
clear, baby.
Yes.
Of
And
course.
so what I told him was like, "Oh, tell Daddy he's crazy." And then he went to Daddy and he's like, "Dada, yeah." Like he pointed to his head like, "You're crazy." And I'm like, "Oh my god, this kid is hilarious."
We're doomed.
Yeah. Pretty much, he's like, no, but
Oh
he's
my
he's a good kid.
gosh.
He's a
Oh,
good
he's
kid.
fantastic.
Yeah, I can't complain that much.
No, he truly is. He's a great kid. He's a good listener, which is a huge thing. He's a
Mm-hmm.
fantastic listener.
Yeah.
And he's gentle. Like, he's come over to my house. I've got the two cats that just want attention from everyone at all times. He's the only small child that's been around that doesn't stick fingers in eyes, pull on ears, grab at fur. Like, truly the only one that's like, I just want to pet this cat. Like, he's so gentle and just kind.
Yeah. Well, I had to taught him that because since I'm a dog trainer,
Right.
I need to kind of like when I see dogs and stuff, I have to be an example, and so so is my kid and my dog, right?
Right.
And so I had to taught him like just put your hand in there first, let him smell it, and then you can pet. And same thing with cats. Like I tell
That's a
him to do
huge
that.
deal, though.
Yeah. And
Huge
so
deal.
I have a friend that she has a dragon lizard. I
Oh,
don't
yeah.
know.
A bearded
Yes,
dragon?
bearded dragon. There you
Hmm.
go. Thanks. And he does the same thing to the dragon. Like
That's fantastic.
he puts his hand like this to his nose, to her nose actually. She's a female, and then he pets her, and he's like, oh, like because she's
Yeah,
rough.
that doesn't feel like a dog. That doesn't feel like a cat.
Yeah, they don't have fur, so it's
Yeah.
like he's like, ooh, and I was like, oh
That's a
yeah,
new sensation.
yeah, but he loves it. He loves
He's
petting
so
everything.
good with pets, though. Like, I've had, our mutual friend, her boyfriend's kid came over and was trying to pet my one cat that's a little standoffish if it's not my husband or I, because she had some rough times before she came to us, especially with children. So she's very, very weary of them. And I told him that. I was like, just so you know, she might swat. I suggest you leave her alone. But he put his kid down right next to her and she swatted at him because he tried to stick his hand in her face, tried to poke her in the eye. And, the boyfriend tried to get mad at me about it. And I
Mm,
was like, I fully gave you a heads up, told you what might be coming your way, and you made the choice to put your kid next to that cat, and you clearly haven't taught him the proper way to pet an animal.
yeah,
But that's never been an issue with your little one. He was fantastic from the get-go.
yeah. Because parents need to instruct their kids on what to do because they don't know.
Yeah,
They don't know better. They're kids,
exactly. You got
you
to
know?
teach him, got to guide him.
Yeah, and he can't just turn on to you and be mad at you because you
Right.
warned him.
Yeah, I was like, I'm not going to stick her in the room. This is her house and you had fair warning.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. And
But
you're on
I've
her
never had that
territory.
issue. Never had that issue with your little one. He is fantastic.
No, he's very respectful of everything
Yeah.
and everybody, and I want to keep it that way because I want him to be, respectful of nature and animals and everything like that. So, yeah,
And it already reflects like 100%.
I'm hoping that that's what he will continue doing for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, cool. Anyways, um, no, it's just we're gonna go into this topic, and it's just I don't want to be bragging my kid,
I
because
mean, he's a great kid. It's worth bragging about, I gotta say.
yeah, he's a good kid for sure. But
Yeah.
you know, I'm biased. But thanks for saying that.
I'm
Thank you
not, though,
for.
so.
No, you're not. No, you're not. But yeah, we need to. I mean, once this thing calms down a bit, we should do something together, or even go to a park and do a
Yeah.
distancing walking or something like that.
Yeah.
Because I mean, you have to see him now. Like he has lots of curls in his hair.
Oh,
He's fully potty trained,
oh my
and yeah,
gosh.
he's just the sweetest kid. He's very like his
Yeah,
laugh
I
is
miss him. I
hilarious.
miss him.
Yeah, yeah. We should do like a distance walk or something like
Yeah.
that. But we can talk about it later.
We'll take that offline.
Yes. So I have a question for all my guests
Yeah.
towards the end of this conversation, which is more like towards kids. But I'll just ask you, like, what are the three lessons in your life that you want to, you know, not pass on to the kids that you don't have, but like just to keep on doing with your life, and maybe if you have like interaction with other kids, like for example mine, what are the lesson that you want them to remember you of?
Oh gosh.
That's a hard one, huh?
It's hard because I don't necessarily have like someone that I'm gonna like pass these things on to and like here's a life lesson, kid, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, I think more than anything, I really want like my friends and family's kids to always think of me as someone that they can go to, whether it's good, the bad, the ugly, you know, oh, I'm scared to tell mom or dad this. I really, truly, genuinely want to be the person that they think of like, oh, well, I can go to Lauren and I can ask her, or I can talk to her, or something happened, you know, got into a fight with mom, I'm going to stay at Lauren's house.
Mm-hmm.
That's a really big thing that I want all of, you know, nieces, nephews, friends, kids. I really want to instill that into them so they know that they always have a place here no matter what. That's
Yeah,
probably number one is like, I'm always going to be there and you can always come to me.
that's a good one.
Yeah, that's a big one for sure.
Yeah.
That and then I'm always the fun aunt. I'm like the Disney dad, you know? I want to be the aunt that like they go to for the weekend and you know they look back like so fondly. Like I've got an aunt and an uncle who don't have any children, and I've got such fond memories of my siblings. So there's four of us, including myself, and my aunt and uncle, different aunt and uncle. They've got four kids as well. So there's eight of us. This,
Wow.
you know, the childless, if you will, aunt and uncle would take all eight of us for a weekend, which I don't know how they did it. Like kudos to them, my God. But they would take all eight of us for an entire weekend. And I just have some of the fondest, like most heartwarming memories of that. And I want that as well for, you know, friends, kids, nieces, and nephews to look back and be like, we had such great times, you know?
Wow, that's really good. That touches my heart actually, because
Yeah, I
I
really,
don't,
really want that.
because I don't, like I'd said, I don't have family around here, and
Yeah.
that would be nice to just, have someone that I can be like, hey, can you take him for a weekend, or
Yeah.
even you come to my house and be like, hey, let me take the kid for, for a swim or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. I want that so badly. I mean, things are crazy and uncertain right now, but
Yeah,
that's absolutely something that I want because that's what I had when I was little and I look back on it so, so fondly.
yeah, that's
And that's what
that's
I want to
nice
be.
memories. Yeah, that's really good memories though.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
And number 3, I don't know. I don't have kids. I don't have anything to pass on to them. I have cats.
Yeah. No, I mean, I know you don't have to do the three lessons, but it was just funny to see like what you were saying, because again,
Yeah.
you don't have kids, so it's kind of hard
Yeah.
of a hard question, but what you said, like it gives me the security that like we're pretty close, like
Yeah.
if anything happened, I can probably just be like, hey, Lauren, can you take him for 5 hours? I just need a break or something like
Yeah.
that.
And I want nothing more than to be able to do that, you know?
Yeah, and like
Because
you
that's what
said,
my aunt and uncle did, you know? It's like, hey,
exactly.
take us, you know, take the kids for the weekend so you guys can have time to yourselves. And that's what I want to be. Like, that's genuinely what I aspire to be is like what my aunt was to me when I was little. Because she
Right.
didn't have kids, so she would just stock up on 8 of them for a weekend, you know?
And then just get all the baby fever out, and then
Exactly.
bye, go
Yeah.
home. No, that's
Exactly.
good. And
Send them back home on a Sunday. And that's what I want, you know?
yeah, and I think it's very important, especially for the parents, to have that time away from the kid and just have time for themselves, because the same thing happens when you're in quarantine. You're
Yeah.
you're there with the two of you, but it's important to ask, like, are you okay? Are you sick of me already? Do you want me to
Yeah.
go somewhere else? Like, or the bathroom for 5 hours, I don't know, whatever. um
Yeah.
so I
Yeah.
think
I
it's
mean, you're still very
important.
much your own person. Like,
Yeah,
yeah, I mean, having kids is fantastic, but you're still your own person at the end of the day, you know?
exactly. And you
Yeah,
need,
you need time for yourself and you deserve time for yourself.
yeah, and for your partner as well, because
Yeah,
there's a lot of things that we cannot do with a child in the house. Like, I can watch a
right,
movie with my husband, but only if the kid is down for the night. And sometimes I'm so
right.
tired, then I fall asleep in the couch, for example. And
Yeah,
then he gets mad at me, and I'm like, well, listen, I'm tired. and sometimes it's him that sleep that like
Okay, like I have a full-time job, even if it's not technically a full-time job.
yeah. And what I think the thing is, so does he, right? But the thing is, like sometimes he also falls asleep in the couch, and I'm like, no, you fell asleep in the
Yeah.
couch, but that's the thing. Like we can go
Yeah.
out and do like a just dinner, just two of us. We can't leave the kid
Yeah.
home by himself.
Yeah. There's no just up and go.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
sometimes it's very important to count on family and or friends that
Yeah.
can do that for you. And thank you for doing that and sharing that with me. And I think
Oh,
it's
absolutely.
it's a very nice thing
Nothing
to
would make
do.
me happier. Yeah.
Oh, you're so sweet.
Yeah, it's, that mutual friend of ours, that's what I used to do with her little one. Well,
Yeah.
I guess now big one.
Right. Now she's big.
While she was
Yeah.
growing up, she would spend a weekend with us. So, mom could have a breather. And I
Yeah.
was, nothing made me happier than, seeing her run through the sprinklers in the backyard and pancakes for breakfast. And then on
Oh,
Sunday, I'm like, here's your kid. I'm good. I've had
yeah.
my fix.
How old was she when she started like spending time with you guys more like spending a weekend or something like that?
I think the first time she stayed with us without her mom, well, I guess overnight, because her mom never spent the night, but like stayed overnight with us, she was probably 4 or 5 years old.
Oh, okay.
So she was a little bit older, but still pretty young.
Yeah. Yeah. But at that time they understand like, oh, you're gonna spend the night here, but I'm coming back tomorrow to pick you up, and you
Yeah.
know, with a 1-year-old, 2-year-olds, they're like, nope, I'm not gonna stay.
Yeah. Yeah. There's definitely still some like separation anxiety, but you just sit them down, rock them a little bit, reassure them that it's okay. Mom and dad are coming back. You're just hanging out here for a while. And she was always able to calm down and ultimately enjoy your time, which is awesome.
Yeah, no, that's really nice. And for you to do that, it's amazing. I bet our mutual friend was like, yay.
Right? I'm going to go take a trip outside of the state. You take the kid. And me,
Yeah.
happily. Happily.
So funny.
Yeah, it
Oh
was
man.
great.
Yeah. I bet. I mean, just having the kid for a couple hours or a day or two and be like,
Yeah.
let's have some fun. Let's do some stupid shit that
Exactly.
your mom doesn't have to know.
Exactly. I get to do all of the fun stuff. I'm like, what are you going to do? Tell me no? Like,
Exactly.
he's hanging out with me. What are you going to do?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the best. And it's just innocent fun, like letting her squish ants in the backyard, just small stuff like that. It was like one of her favorite pastimes when she was like 5 years old, was just squishing ants that were along the grass.
Oh my God, that's so
Yeah,
funny though. Eating ice cream for dinner, why not?
exactly. Exactly.
Oh my God, that's amazing. No, I
Yeah, it
bet
was
she had
great.
a wonderful time. And she talks about you, when we hang out. I mean, not that we hang out too much right now,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
when we used to, she was like, "Oh, I love Lauren."
I
Yeah.
know, and she's grown up so much, and it's
Oh,
kind of mind blowing to be like, I used to see you when you were in diapers,
yeah.
and it's just bonkers to see her now because I'm like, you're almost as tall as I am now.
Yeah. Man, like I remember my sister, she was born when I was 10 years old, and it's the same analogy, like she's now 21, and I look at her and I'm like, you know what? Like she's in Portugal. I'm like, I don't really recognize you.
Yeah, like, when did this happen?
Yeah, it's so weird. Like you grow up
Yes.
so fast. And the same thing with our mutual friend's daughter. Like I
Yes. It
met
was the
her
blink of
when
an eye.
yes, I met her when she was probably 7 years old or something. And then out of nowhere, boom, she's a teenager. I'm like,
I know.
how the
I know.
did this happen?
I know. Anytime I see her, just like honestly, just standing, I'm just like, holy shit, when did this happen?
Yeah.
Because you are genuinely almost as tall as me and you're going to pass me soon.
Yeah,
I say,
she's
give it maybe a year, you're going to be taller than me.
oh yeah, she's taller than me for sure.
Oh my gosh. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm holding on by like half an inch and I'm savoring that half an inch, but
Yeah.
it's not long for this world.
No, no, no,
Yeah,
because
she's gonna pass me up
yeah,
for
she's
sure.
12. She's 12,
I
so she
know.
still is gonna grow.
I know.
And
It's
wow.
upsetting.
I know, but it's good at the same time, seeing them growing and having a
Yeah.
little bit of you in there. And
Yeah.
sometimes you kind of catch you like, oh, that was me.
Yes. Yeah. Like there's certain like little catchphrases she'll say, and I'm like, thank you. My work here is done.
You're
Especially
welcome.
when like our friend hates it and she's like, don't say that. I'm like, good. Good.
Yeah, 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 yeah. You're like, you're welcome, kid.
Yeah.
Take it for life. Goodbye.
Exactly. Make it count.
Exactly. So you don't have kids, but already like putting yourself into
Exactly.
the kids'
Planting
life.
those seeds.
Yes, yes,
I'm like, I
yes.
want, when this comes out of your mouth, I want your mother to be like, I know exactly where that came from. That's what I want. Yeah.
It's from Auntie Lauren. I know
That's
that.
right. That's right. With pride.
Oh my God, that's awesome.
Yeah.
All right, Lauren. Well, I won't take any longer from your time. Thanks for being at the show.
Yeah. Thanks for
This was
having me.
great. Of course, and maybe you'll come back. Who knows, huh?
Hey, happy to,
Yeah, that'll be great. Alrighty, I'll talk to you later. Bye.
Sounds good. Bye.